everyone, and welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting podcast. I'm your host, Sean Higgs. It's Monday, the 16th of December. As always, it's a Money Monday. Doug Upstone Chip Chirimbes joining me here on the Winner Circle YouTube channel. Hit the like button, notification bell, subscribe so you know each every day when we go with our free picks. Perhaps the live show on Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for some player prop action. Maybe the live show on Friday with Marc Victor King, and last week it's Scott Pritchard. Chip's guy making his debut on a live show there, filling in for us. So live shows, free picks, weekends with Chip, Paul Bovey, Jim Feist. He's got you covered with more free pick videos. Again, notification bell on so you don't miss a single one. We got Doug Upstone with us, Mr. Hockey. We got Chip Chirimbes, Mr. NBA. I'm just the Mr. Giant Potato Head. Before we get to the free picks, head on over to gamblersWORLD.net because it's the 12 days of deals. And you might have missed a couple already. That's all right. A new week, a new day, a new deal. How about 20% off a 30-day pass? The same 30-day pass that if we don't show you a profit on, you get credit back and you can run it back for another month. So not only, well, let's be honest, you get a 30-day pass, you're probably going to make money. But if by some reason you don't, you're still saving some money, so you're actually coming out ahead. You're getting like double the value. Well, let's be honest. I've known a couple people because they've done this in the past. Like, oh, you have like a losing day or something, but your big play wins and the other one doesn't, and then they try to get you. I mean, people still make money when you can go like 13-17, folks. So just the losses. That's why the win-loss is never really a tell-all when it comes to betting, because you have a great win-loss record, but you could have the same amount of money as somebody who has a 500 record, especially in baseball and hockey and sports where there's money lines. So, but again, you can't beat it. Every day a new deal. Save some money. It's the holiday time. We're going to stuff the stockings with cash money for you on gamblersworld.net. Doug Upstone doing it on the ice. I mean, here we go again, Doug. 18-9, 67% run. How was your weekend of limited college football, but you had some NFL there, some interesting games yesterday we'll touch on.
Yes, well, you mentioned college football. I had the over on the Army-Navy game, so that was a comfortable winner. Just in fact, I walked in the door from Christmas shopping, flipped the TV on, and I see the guy score the touchdown and take it over. So perfect. So that was good. Yesterday, AFC Game of the Month goes Cincinnati Bengals. Get the job done. Even though I have to admit, okay, I don't know if you saw this one. You saw the one with the Colts running back now. I can't think of his name. The guy dropped the ball. Okay, Jonathan Taylor. So the Cincinnati defensive back intercepted a pass, runs to the goal line. Same thing. Goes to change hands, literally at the goal line. For some reason, drops the ball, kicks it out of the end zone. Okay, so I'm still got a comfortable lead. They went back and scored, and so I'm thinking, but boy, it's just right there. And so as it turns out, not that this would have played out exactly the same way, but if they hadn't scored another touchdown, Cincinnati, on the last play of the game, Tennessee threw a touchdown pass, okay, on the last play of the game to get it to within 10. Now, if it had not happened, they would have gotten to within 3 without an extra score, and I thought for sure I was going to get nailed on that. I didn't, okay, so it doesn't matter, but that's, anybody watching, and I know these two guys know, if you're better, you're just looking for that stuff. Okay.
That's why it's sometimes not good to watch the games.
What?
Sometimes you just don't watch them. Just let them play.
Well, I usually do. But and anyway, so yes, you mentioned hockey, 18-9, also 37-17. I got a play going tonight, and in hockey. Really strong system. I think 87.5. And I have my Monday night NFL Game of the Year, the Monday night Game of the Year, available at gamblersworld.net.
You said you walked right into a nice winner there with the Army over. That's good. You go shopping, you spend some money, you come home, and you turn the thing on, and they're like, boom, look at that. Nice. You don't feel as bad as going out and wasting a bunch of stuff on nonsense you don't need. So that's a good feeling. Chip.
Yeah.
How you doing? How's the weekend?
Not bad. My former Army cohorts feel like kind of jumped ship. I had Navy on Saturday, and had a 3-2 day yesterday. I got beat in my top play, but still a winning day, going 3-2. And of course, the basketball, the beat goes on. Now 19-3 with the last 22 college releases, as well as 33-12 in the last 45 NBA releases. So basketball has been great for me. And each and every day, I'm posting 1 or 3 games, and I have one today in the NBA, and waiting till tomorrow to have my next college selection.
I took not shocked. I think I'm 70 or 69-73 in NFL. I got the Jags plus 3.5. Excuse me, plus 4. That's really great. You give up a touch. You don't give up a field goal with a minute left. Now let's let them score touchdowns. We could go down and miss one or something. Tough loss there. Washington minus 3.5.
Oh,
I mean, but forget about how the game ended. It shouldn't even been that close. I mean, I liked them before the quarterback went out, right? I mean, I was on them. You're coming out of a bye week. It's a late bye to boot. You got a young quarterback. It's like ideal. It's an ideal situation. You got a December bye with a young kid who maybe he's got to get tweaked a little bit. You're in a playoff hunt. You come out. You can't put that team away with a backup, not one but 2 backup quarterbacks. And then you have a number that's 3 points better than a closing number. I just I mean that's baseball, Susan. What am I going to do? That's my NFL just summed up on a whole. Just losing rough ones like that.
Why they stopped the clock? That is beyond belief.
Yeah, we made a mistake. I mean, stuff happens. You're going to get me on a crazy pass interference call, but we've said this before. If the defense makes a stop, it's a moot point. I don't want to hear like, oh, he's a good comeback quarterback, or he can't get it done in the clutch. Well, your defense didn't get it done, and the other guy got the thing. The other defense got it done, and you're the choker. No, make a stop defense against backup quarterbacks. I mean, listen, college basketball, 3 games on Saturday, 1 yesterday, so 4-0 college hoops. I'm having a good college basketball season. But the NFL, I'm like the Bears. How can I lose on a Hail Mary pass from 60 yards out? No, maybe I'll muff my own field goal or have my field goal blocked. Like just in new innovative ways to lose. Like that's the first one. Let's like not stop the clock when we should, or let's stop the clock when we can't. I've lost on a kick return, and this is going back years. But this one always sticks out because I was actually watching it at a bar. And I think it was San Fran, Arizona. Onside kick, the guy took it to the house. I somehow pull out a miraculous back door I should have never gotten, and then the guy runs it to the house. Whatever.
Yep.
Let's talk happy news. If you're a Bills fan, Bills look pretty darn good. They kind of got that taste out of their mouth from the Rand game. Detroit, are you worried, guys, about Detroit? 12-2. Minnesota wins tonight. They're 12-2. You got Philly knocking on the door, who beat up a pretty, what we think was a decent Pittsburgh team, but Pittsburgh's second half schedule is kind of tough. Are the Bills now the favorites here? Can they overtake Kansas City? Because no Mahomes this week. Well, let's be honest. Will they play him on a short week? Because they're playing on Wednesday too. So let's be honest. He's probably out the next 2 games. I thought they'd maybe lose in Pittsburgh anyway on the road the way they've been playing. Thoughts on the Mahomes and the Bills? We'll go with Doug.
The Bills, I mean, obviously the difference was their defense, well, for most of the game played better with them. Once again, we talked about like college football not being a great team. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 teams that are above the curve, and that's about it, and it's hard to make a case for anybody else to win it. And so Buffalo certainly is in the mix if their defense, if they can just stop giving up quite so many points. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Josh Allen is, it was just remarkable. We talked about Mahomes now for years, but you got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow, who to me, they're all at the same level right now. Right. I mean, talking about right now. Okay. And I'm not saying in terms of winning Super Bowls, anything like that, but yeah. And then the Mahomes thing, I mean, it's just, they've had more than their share of injuries. They've had more than their share of luck. I think they're the only team. In fact, yeah, there's 5 teams in the NFL that haven't scored 30 points yet this year. And they're the only one with a winning record.
That's crazy. That alone just tells you how ridiculous their season has been to this point.
Yes.
Chip, what do you think?
Chiefs have been totally unimpressive, and that's what scares me about coming into the playoffs, because I think they'll just probably keep on winning. But Mahomes is the whole key there. He has to stay healthy. I know their defense has carried him the entire season, but I don't think they get by in the playoffs without Mahomes for sure. They might be able to eke out regular season victories because they still are Kansas City and they've got back-to-back Super Bowl rings. So, it's going to be tough. In Detroit, are their defensive injuries really starting to come into play? I mean, Buffalo moved the ball at will, but they've been doing that against everybody. Even in the game they lost the week before. So Buffalo. How do you not like Buffalo? And I like Detroit as well. But when you come to playoff time, as they say in New Orleans, shit happens. So we'll see.
It's just amazing, like you said. They played like trash, and yet they still pull rabbits out of their hat.
Yeah.
And you'd expect that here comes January, even if they're not a wild card team, but a first, if they somehow lose their bye week, it's still Mahomes and Andy Reid, and maybe the offense. Everybody's kind of a little healthier and back. It's just again, are you're gonna bet against them as an underdog?
Yeah. I mean, they deserve the benefit of a doubt. Two other teams that saw that really, I'm not saying they're going to win playoff games, and who knows, they might not even make it. But I tell you, I wouldn't necessarily want to play if the Rams end up winning the division. I wouldn't really necessarily want to play them, and I'm not sure I'd want to play Tampa Bay either. In an opening round game, because both those teams. Now, I'm more talking against the spread than outright upsets. But it's just, I mean, when Mayfield doesn't throw the ball to the other team, I mean, they can score. They do enough stuff there, and we see how the Rams. Rams have the coach, and they have enough great players to make a difference. And in a one-game scenario, could be tough to beat.
Yep. No, yeah, especially with Campbell. I get it. I love the shot taking, but it's going to come back to get him. It's going to come back to get him. Again, in the Rams experienced bunch. Although, real fast, I do like the Jets this weekend as a home dog here against the Rams. I'm not, stats pat for going outside. I'm not. This is kind of like the Saints. They're better than the Saints, but I don't like the spot for them there.
Yeah.
Let's talk some NBA. Again, free picks here, folks. 7, 10, and 1 with our NBA picks. Again, is it good? No. Is it absolutely terrible? No. But they're free picks. You want winners? Chip Chirimbes, NBA 5-1 run, number 1 NBA 30 days season. He's having a great year. So is his free pick going to win? I'm going to give it a 70% shot of winning. Will his premium win? I'm probably giving that like an 80% shot because his premiums have been great all season long. And you don't judge one day. It's a long day. Like if you're just betting day to day, you'll never be a winner. It's a long-term effect. Chip is number 1 NBA handicapper. Let's get his thoughts here on the Sixers and the Hornets. Sixers favored here. -3 for them. No Embiid. Shocking. 216.5. You got a Charlotte team. Talk about reeling. I mean, 9, would they lose? 9 in a row or 9 out of 10? 2 out of their last 12. The 1 win in overtime. They lost their leading scorer. A team that is just a hot mess, right? I would lean probably to the dog because I like ugliness. Maybe a total here, though. 9-14 ATS for the Phillies. 14-11 ATS for the Hornets. Mr. NBA, what do you got for us in this one? I mean, you're the king of the NBA, Chip. What do you got here? This is sorry, it's not a marquee game, everybody, with a lowly Charlotte team, but money to be made.
I would probably describe this game if they were we were an electorate as a pair of deplorables. I mean, each team has won 7 games, and 2 of the Phillies' wins have come against Charlotte. This is their 3rd meeting. They're going to be meeting again on Friday. Like you said, Charlotte comes in losing 9 of 10. Embiid, not only Embiid is out, but they have an electric point guard due to 76ers named Jared McCain. He's gone as well. He's only 20 years old, but he can light it up. I don't see the firepower here with Embiid out. I think this game is going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to play it under the Sixers and the Hornets.
Under Sixers, Hornets, 216.5 official free pick. Chip Chirimbes, let me get this in here now.
You know, they've met twice already, and the Sixers won both games. But the other side got the money. They split the money.
There you go. Under 216.5. Chip Chirimbes, free pick. You want his premium play in the NBA tonight? Head to gamblersworld.net. $69.99 for a day pass. Maybe he's got NFL. Maybe he's got college. Maybe he's got something else. 3/7 package, a 30-day package. It's on sale. Get Chip at gamblersworld.net. Mr. NBA. Doug, thoughts on Chipper's 216.5?
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to disagree with him the way he's going. I mean, you know, if he would have said over, whatever. Hey, I'm all on board with what he's doing. But this is a game I just don't like, so I'm going to pass on it altogether because it wasn't my premium play, like it was, or not premium, but a free play pick. I'm going to go props again here, and I'm looking at Kelly Oubre, and I always thought he was a good player, you know, above average. Well, I guess a star player in college, but you know, he's been on 5 different teams. Not always a high effort guy. Okay, from that standpoint, but it seems like he gets definitely influenced by kind of his surroundings, either the teams he's on or how he happens to be shooting the ball. In his last 10 games, he's shooting over 50%. So he's been really, you know, good, not forcing shots. And the other thing too that you see with him is if you look at his stats, either in those games when he plays well, either the assists are higher or the rebounds are higher, but not necessarily the same game. So he's coming off 3 straight double-digit rebound games, which is exceptional. And so his odds for this one are over 5 or over under 5.5. So seemingly a relatively low total, about his average on the season. But the odds are a little bit in our favor at -110 at DraftKings. So I'm going to take Oubre for over 5.5 rebounds for tonight's game.
A little player property. I'm thinking, he's a guy. The proverbial journeyman.
Yes.
And speaking, I was looking at some of these Hornets guys. I mean, they got Taj Gibson, who's 40 on the roster. Like, I'm looking at the roster, I'm like, who are these cats? I don't pretend to know a lot of NBA. I've had 8 games that I bet on the site in the NBA, so I don't love it. But you know, you start digging into when you do these matchups, I'm like, man, what did I do here? But listen, Chip Chirimbes on fire NBA, whether they're free picks or premium picks, under 216.5, and his NBA has been great on the site. Head to gamblersworld.net for his winner tonight. Speaking of tonight's winners, Doug Upstone's got one here. Heat -4.5 against the Pistons, total of 219. All right, we got some wins for these guys. They've kind of right the ship a little bit. There was some Jimmy Butler rumors out there, but they've whatever's happened. Spoelstra's a great coach. He's found a nice little lineup. They're putting up points. They're scoring. They're winning. Detroit is Detroiting. They're back into their slumping ways. 10-16, 12-13, 1 ATS. Doug, this one here, I really had no opinion on, which is pretty good because we do 3 games each, and this one is on mine. So take it away. Give us a winner here.
Well, before we do that, I am curious. Today is December the 16th. What happened on December the 16th, Mr. Chip Chirimbes?
Well, there are a lot of things that have happened on this date. And tell you the truth, Wilt Chamberlain scored 68 points in 1967. That was one of the big ones. And O.J. Simpson on this date in 1973, I believe it was, he ran for over 2,000 yards, the first in the NFL to ever do that. And the final one was at it escapes me right now, but hey, it does. I'm trying to think of it. I can't remember, and it'll come back to me, and I will. What's today's date anyway? December.
Why are you thinking of it?
I know what it is. Today's the date that the Miami Dolphins completed an undefeated season by defeating the Washington Redskins in the Super Bowl.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I'm going to look at Miami and the.
Wait a second. They completed the season on December 16th?
They completed their regular season. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's –
yeah.
But again,
completed their regular season on their way to the Super Bowl. I apologize.
Right. That's a 14 game season. That's why I was like, wait a second, it's early.
Right.
Now.
Yes. The 14 game season, and also that little known that there was, because nobody talked about it back in those days, because I remember it. They played the easiest schedule that year in the NFL.
The only time they played a team over 500 was in the Super Bowl.
Yes. Yep. There we go. Yep. All right. Miami hits the road after a 4-game home sweep. And so they're back over 500, and they just missed going 4-0 against the spread. If they would have made one more free throw in their last game, they would have been 4-0 against the spread also. The Heat have just one game on the road now, just making one venture. Pistons started the season pretty good, but since 3-8 straight up and against the spread, not playing too well. And they've gone back to their lazy ways. And what do I mean by that? In their last 7 games, opposing teams are shooting over 70% against them. And in 9 of their last 10 contests, they have committed 16 to 19 turnovers. So it's just kind of like the same old Pistons again. I think Eric Spoelstra, the coach of Miami, will have his team focused, after playing better of late. I think he'll remind them that 34 days ago, they lost by 2 points in Detroit. And Miami is 8-1 straight up, revenging a close loss by 3 points or less, winning by an average of 7.2 points per game. So I'm going to go with Miami here at -4.5 to get the job done against Detroit tonight.
Doug Upstone official pick, Heat -4.5. I kind of like it just because I got a coach. They've been playing better down the road. As you mentioned, they had a tough loss against these guys. I like it. Heat -4.5. Doug Upstone, free pick. Doug's Premium at gamblersworld.net. NFL tonight, Monday night game of the year. And plus he's got a game on the ice as well. Mr. Iceman, who is 18-9, 67% won on the ice. gamblersworld.net for Doug's premium stuff. Chip, Heat, Pistons. You got a thought on this one here? This one I have.
Yeah,
This one I have nothing on though.
I was slightly in. Miami's won 4 straight. They were all at home. And after doing that, winning and covering 4 in a row, going on the road, I can see them struggling. They had won 7 straight in the series until this season, where they split the 2 games. Like you said, Detroit had won at home, but Detroit's 2-0 against the number against his team. And I have a slight lean. I would probably, if I was to play the game, would probably take the points because of the fact that Miami's won those 4 in a row at home, and now they take to the road. But it's not a game I'm using.
All right, listen. Show pick. Doug likes the Heat -4.5. That is all that matters for the record keeping here. All right, that is all that matters. We're going to disagree sometimes. So be it. As Chip said, it's not a premium play for him. He didn't have it on his card. Fine and dandy. Sometimes we're like that. Just because there's a game out there doesn't mean we're going to be on every side in total there is for that. And excuse me for having my head down for the phone. It's exam week at school this week. So people are looking for rides. Where are you? Kind of nonsense. So it's exam time. What's for dinner? What, I get out of here in an hour. So it's funny because in Jersey it wasn't like that. Like here, all from freshman year on for my son, now he's a senior, my daughter's freshman, they do these schedules where you can get out. Like if you have nothing, you go to school just to check in and you're signed out with a letter. It's craziness. Now he has to go to school for like 1 class. My daughter's got to go for 2. It's just weird. I mean, it wasn't like that in Jersey. Jersey, exams. You sat in school all day long and waited for a bus to take you home. That you couldn't leave.
It's called an education.
You could never leave. Here it's like, oh, nothing's going on. See ya. Get out of here. Which I like. Why have them sit in an auditorium or a gymnasium? I like it, but it's craziness for the next 4 days. So I apologize.
Have you been participating in any rodeos while you're there?
No rodeos. No rodeos.
Just wondering.
We have to get to the rodeo. That is big down here. In case you did not know, the Houston Rodeo is a monster affair in February. It is.
Well, the one in Las Vegas is the finals right now, and it's on every day for 10 straight days.
Yeah.
And here it's not just the rodeo because the entire NRG state, the parking lot, it's a huge barbecue buffet. It's like a huge. There's like food trucks and there's brisket and ribs everywhere. Yeah, it's big in town. Everything's bigger. Yeah, no lie. It's not just one thing.
Sean, you ought to go just to eat.
Yeah, I should. I'm trying to lose.
Yeah, that's what I do. Forget the rodeo. Let's just put some chow.
My mom's like, you're getting too heavy. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Mom. You're getting too old. How's that sound? Do you like that one? I got the Nuggets and the Kings. Here we go. Denver a 1.5-point underdog, total 237 in Sacramento. The Nuggets 9-13-1 ATS, not a good little bunch. Both teams come in, I think, like 5-5, ho-humming it. You kind of get this from Denver, right? That's who they are. They're going to kind of flip the switch and be ready for the playoff kind of team. The Kings are a team I like. I got an over for them on for a season win ticket. I thought they'd be a little better than what they've started out to be here. But I want to look at this total here. At a 237, that is a big number. And again, I'm 4-4 in NBA this year. Not running the NBA. I'm having a good college football season, having a good college basketball season. I'm not going to run to do NBA where guys are out and this and that. But I see a 237. I'm going to look at an over because that to me, I know in the league now, and I just saw somebody post on Twitter about players who've taken like a lot of three-point shots this week and stuff like that, and now they're averaging 53s a game. I know scoring is up, right? We take a lot of threes. This is still, maybe just on tonight's ticket, it's a fish out of water, but this is a high total overall, 237. We're talking teams into the 120s here. I'm going to go over the total. Kings finding their little groove with their new additions. I think this is going to really come down to, and I almost use a player prop here with Sabonis and the Joker, like two big guys in the middle. I don't think we're going to see much defense between them two. I think it's going to be kind of back and forth solo kind of battle with those two guys. I think we're going to get like 70 just from them alone, right? So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, not a lot of defense. As I mentioned, I want to do some kind of triple-double PRA kind of thing there with those two guys. I think, points, rebounds, 50 a pop, easy, right? Something high-scoring. Sabonis had like a 20-rebound game the other day. So if you want to look at that angle of it, that's fine. But I'm going to go over 237. Chip Chirimbes, you like the 237, or should I stuck with the player props?
I responded the same way you did when I saw that number 237. I said, "Whoa, that's a big number to overcome."
Right.
And went after it and see that they're Denver's 14-8 to the over, Sacramento's 14-12 to the over. I think the game goes over. First meeting of the season. You've got all these triple-double players out there. You have Westbrook, you have Jokic. I see plenty of scoring, and I don't see it's not scoring. Sacramento comes in losing their last three at home, getting only a 1.5. But I think that 237 is telling. It's like what you said. The first thing, it hit me. I think that number is very high, and I think it's destined to go over. And I wouldn't be surprised if it makes it by a wide margin.
A wide margin. I love it. We're not talking about my waistline. Chip is saying it's going to go over by a wide margin. So maybe we're looking at like a 260 here for both teams getting to the 130s, which I love. And you saw Chip's byline come across 62% in NBA, number one on gamblersworld.net. Doug, you going to make it a trifecta on this bad boy or what?
Well, I'm not going to go all in, but I'll agree with both of you. And Chip was probably on the shows from years ago on Proline and whatever there. But I mentioned this to my wife today because something related came up, and I said, the old days, on a game like this, we were doing a video and stuff like that. You'd say, you know what, this team, I like them so much, they're going to beat the total by 20 points tonight. Okay, Chip knows. He's Chip smiling. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, those days are gone because I think people figured that out. That didn't necessarily work out to be true. Okay, but it was a good selling technique. But instead, though, I'm going to look at the side on this one. Denver, as you mentioned, they're shooting the ball extremely well in the last two games, over 57% on average, and they scored 261 points. So that's a positive. Just before that, though, they had lost 3 out of 4. Sacramento has won 4 out of 5, playing a little bit better on offense and defense in terms of focus when you look at their shooting percentages and their defensive percentages. And this one, though, I'm looking at road teams when the point spread is 3 to 3.5. And a team like Denver has covered 2 of their last 3 and has played 4 or less games in the last 10 days. They're only 32-71 since 2021. I hate to lose by a half a point on a game like this, so I'm going to take the Kings minus 125 on the money line.
Yeah, money line's the way to go on a short number like this. And I'd agree. I kind of like the Kings, right? Like the Denver is a team that people want to bet because they're the Nuggets. It's look at this, and yet they're a small little dog. I'm with you. I'm with you on the side there as well. But official pick here, we're gonna say over the 237 in the Kings Nuggets game. Doug also likes the Kings. I sort of lean that way. For our other games, again, free picks here in the video. Under 216.5 Charlotte Philly for Chip. Heat minus 4.5 for Doug. These are free picks at gamblersWORLD.net. Hit the like button, subscribe, notification bells on. You don't want to miss our free pick videos. We tell you how we do. Okay, NBA, we're 7-10, we're struggling. You know what that means? We're going to turn the page and go 2-1 tonight. That's all that means. All right, so the free picks are here. The 12 Days of Christmas underway at gamblersWORLD.net. 20% off the 30-day package right now, which is a great deal because if we don't do you a win, you get credit back and you get it back anyway. But that's just not on the 30. That's also on the 7-day and 3-day passes as well. We have the daily pass, $69.99. End of season NFL for $199.99. It's bowl season. Bowls start tomorrow. Get the 30-day package, folks. There's 40 bowls out, playoffs, college playoffs, NFL playoffs. Will you get a week of that? Yes, because you'll probably get a wild card weekend, I guess, January 16th. Get a 30-day pass. Make the smart money move, folks. All right? Let's go here. That's it for today. Tomorrow, we'll be doing some college hoops. Chip, we got college basketball tomorrow. Me, you, and Fargo.
Fine. Coming up a 4-1 Saturday. I'm ready.
There you go. Doug will be back with us on Thursday. For Doug, Chip, and myself. Happy Monday. The live show, 7 o'clock tonight. Player prop action. Come back. I'd love to see you. Gentlemen, have a good one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.